Well, hello, class. Here we are already in chapter 10, and chapter 10 is a very detailed chapter with several sections. And section 1 is going to talk about the components of company culture. And section 2 is going to essentially talk about explaining and identifying from a leadership perspective your own power and privileges. And that is providing reasons as to why diversity is so important for management to be successful. Section 3 is going to talk about the various types of law leaders that should be concerned as they learn as they relate to employees. When I talk about law leaders, we're talking about equal employment opportunity. We're talking about family laws. We're talking about how both our values and our cultures and our religion's beliefs, they all come together in striking the balance between what is outside of the organization and how we assess our values based on what we bring into the organization. We're also going to touch a little bit about sexual harassment as well. We're going to talk a little bit about Family Medical Leave Act. When we get to section 4, we're going to talk about explaining employee rights and defining unions and explain their relationship to management. Coming into the very last section, section 5, we're going to talk about stress in the workforce and maybe even outside the workforce and how it can impact your work performance. Okay? Not just as a leader, but how your behavior influences your leaders. When they see that your subordinates, when leaders see that their subordinates are under a lot of stress and they react to that, they become stressful. And subordinates feed off of leaders and vice versa. And what we call not getting relief from stress is something we'll talk about. It's called an episodic acute stress type of behavior. Wow. Anyway, a lot to do in this chapter, and there are 5 sections. So, parts 1, 2, and 3 of this chapter over the next 3 days, I'll be breaking down each part into 2 sections, okay? And the last section, which will be part 3, I am going to focus on just stress, okay? So that's kind of the way it's going to go. There is also going to be some supportive data for you on YouTube and maybe even an interview. Okay.